Hi, my name is Caitlin. I'm with the social media team here at the Creation Museum, and I'm here with Leanne and the animals to talk about animal enrichment and a new workshop that we have coming up here at the museum. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, so this summer on Saturdays at 11 o'clock, we're actually going to be doing an animal enrichment workshop here at the Creation Museum. So we're going to teach everybody a little bit about animal behavior from a biblical perspective, and also about how we are good stewards of our animal collection here at the museum and provide them enrichment every day. So we have a pretty nice enrichment program here. So all of our animals get some form of enrichment every day. So enrichment is just really anything that stimulates or encourages an animal to engage in natural behaviors or more behaviors throughout their day. So here we obviously provide our animals with food and water and shelter, basically everything that they need to survive. Veterinary care is needed. So compared to animals in the wild, these guys have it pretty good. So in the wild, an animal is going to spend a lot of its time foraging or hunting for food, or even traveling different places to find food or mates, that sort of thing. So here, they don't have to do that. So we want them to be active throughout the day, because when you visit, everybody wants to see an active animal. You don't want to see animals just laying around doing nothing. People want to see active animals. So we try to encourage our animals to be active, and one way we do that is providing them with environmental enrichment. So the enrichment workshop, as I said, you'll learn a little bit about animal behavior from a biblical perspective and stewardship, and then you'll get the opportunity to help us zookeepers make enrichment items for our animals. So right here I have paper mache. So most people have done this in kindergarten. It's a really basic form of enrichment, but we can use it in a variety of different ways here in the zoo. So for instance, a little later we're going to see our zebu steers get some that's full of some bananas. So we can stuff this full of food, and they'll have to roll around and manipulate it to get the food out. We can also hang them up and put scents on them, so animals are going to smell them and interact. It's a sensory form of enrichment. We can also even put toys or other things that make noise inside. So once again, just a form of sensory enrichment to engage them. The animals love this paper mache. This is a really big one. This is one item you might make.
Is that made with a balloon, like around
Yes.
the outside of the balloon, and then you pop the balloon?
Yes. Yes. So what we do is we blow up some balloons, and then we just do a flour paste. So just flour and water and newspaper strips. So this is basically recycling. A lot of the enrichment we use here in the zoo, it's some form of recycling. We like to reuse products as often as possible, because the cheaper the better when it comes to enrichment, because this is going to get destroyed in about 10 to 15 minutes probably when it gets put in an exhibit. It's going to get destroyed. So we like to make it nice and easy to make. So these do take some time to make, so it's great if we can have some help with that. So please come out to our enrichment workshop so you can help us build these. They're really fun to make. You'll have a ton of fun making them, but it also saves my keepers a lot of time from having to sit there and assemble these to provide later for enrichment.
It's such a neat way for guests to get involved, because I know you've been doing enrichment here for a while,
Yes.
right? In different ways, so that guests can actually participate and make things that the animals can enjoy, right?
Yes. So our goal here is always to help our guests participate as much as possible. So helping us make enrichment is a great way for that to happen. And then at 2:30 on Saturdays, we encourage workshop participants to come out, and you will see the animals receive the form of enrichment you made. Now,
So
it won't be the exact item you made, because paper mache takes about 48 hours to dry completely. But you'll see what the group, maybe the week before, the paper mache they made, get to see that placed with an animal.
That's really neat.
At the end of the program, we'll let you know what animal's going to be receiving that item, so you know what exhibit to come to.
That's really exciting. And you said it's all throughout the summer, right? On Saturday, starting June?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So starting this Saturday, we'll have our enrichment workshop. It'll be about an hour, so it starts at 11. You should be out of there by noon, so you can go and eat lunch. But really, you can stay in paper mache as long as you want, do as much as you want, do as little as you want. Our goal is just to get guests involved, and also educate them a little bit about animal enrichment, because a lot of times, I mean, if you go to any zoo in the country, you're going to see animals with some form of enrichment in enclosure. So it's nice for people to understand why it's placed there.
Yes.
It's not just a toy for the animal, it is encouraging a natural behavior.
So what are these guys up to?
Okay, so today our goats and sheep got a browse form of enrichment. So browse is just tree branches. So this is some mulberry. This is kind of a universal favorite around here as far as browse goes. So what we're trying to encourage here is browsing behavior in the goats. So if you noticed a little while ago, our goat Shasta actually got up on his back legs and was reaching and stretching for the browse. So that is the behavior that wild goats are going to exhibit. So we're trying to encourage that natural behavior. It's healthy for them and it's good exercise for them, because if you've ever visited us here, you know that these goats get spoiled rotten and people feed them constantly. So this is a good way for them to get food, get some goodies, but in a more natural way. And then down here on the grounds, we have some fodder. So Theodore, our Katahdin hair sheep, is eating some fodder here. So this fodder was actually grown by our horticulture department at Ark Encounter. So the animals at Ararat Ridge Zoo at Ark, they get this fodder several times through the week. Tuesdays are our animals day here to get it, so we'll go down and pick up a load of that and bring it back for everybody today. So the goats and sheep have kind of been a little bit skeptical of this fodder, so this is actually great. This is the first time I've actually seen them like eating on it. So
cool. I saw them kind of like pawing it earlier.
So yeah, it's a nice natural, encourages that grazing behavior as well. Okay, well, if you guys want, we'll move over and we'll go to our Zebu steers. And we'll, Stephen, can you go and there's 2 paper mache in the back. Can you go put those in for them? So we'll get to watch them kind of interact with our paper mache a little bit.
Awesome.
So you guys can kind of see the outcome of if you come in and do our enrichment workshop, kind of see some of the animals enjoying it.
So it's $3.50 for participants, right, for the workshop, and then parents or guardians can watch. They can observe for free.
Yes.
But it's $3.50 for each participant.
And really, anybody can do this workshop. It just doesn't have to be kids. Like if you're an adult and want to come and build enrichment,
I want to do it.
Yeah,
come
in and help us. So it's really any age. We encourage parents with littler kids to get the observer ticket, so then you can help your littler guys build the enrichment. And if we have some really little guys, we actually have some that are already finished. That then we'll give them some paint and we'll let them paint on it, because color is also a great form of enrichment for the animals as well.
You mentioned putting scents on them before. What kind of scents do you use?
So we try to use a lot of more natural scents. We will use perfumes and colognes as well. These 2, we have a pumpkin spice perfume. These 2 steers love pumpkin spice. It's really funny to watch them. You give them anything with pumpkin spice on it and they're rubbing their heads
so
all
funny.
over it. So here we have George, he's the gray one, and Ferdinand is the dark red one, more black colored one. So these guys just turned a year old, so we've had them for almost a year now. They've been here.
Wow.
So, and they're quite a hit. They're quite fun for guests to watch. They love to lay up along the fence, so if you come and visit, you can probably just sit down and scratch on them if they're laying up along the fence. They love that.
So they have bananas in the
Yes.
things?
So bananas is George. This is his favorite snack, is bananas. So when we do training with them, we usually will use bananas for George and carrots for Ferdinand. That's their 2 favorites. Today I just had some bananas, so I chopped them up really quick and put them in here for them.
It's funny, I would not have guessed that banana would be something they would like.
Yeah, especially when we get a new or young animal, we try to introduce them to a bunch of different food items, just so, one, we can figure out what they like, because we're always trying to look for that special thing that we can use for training, but also so we can feed them a variety of things as well. So when they were little, we had an overabundance of bananas, so we went in there with a bunch of bananas, and George just went crazy.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, you love bananas.
It's funny.
So you can see how they kind of are working them around, kind of rolling them around, manipulating them. George already got inside his, but he's special. He's quite fast at figuring things out. Ferdinand's struggling a little bit over there.
Do any of the other animals receive this form of enrichment?
Yes. Basically all the animals here can receive some form of paper mache. We'll just kind of change maybe what's inside of it based on the animal, and how we present it as well. Our coatis love these because they can rip them apart and shred them. And we don't have to worry because if they ingest any of this, it's just paper and flour, so it's not going to hurt the animal if they start eating it. Especially the steers here, they'll sometimes start munching on it a little bit, as will the goats. But because it's basically it's just fiber and flour, it's perfectly fine for them to ingest. So another reason we do it, it's safe for the animals.
Yes.
So when we do provide enrichment, we always want to make sure it is safe. So we try to think through any safety issues because obviously we want to enrich their lives, but we don't want to harm them as we're enriching them. So we make sure everything's safe before we give it. So we make sure we do our research and see what other facilities are doing and seeing if they're using similar things.
So what are some other types of enrichment that they enjoy, like in the summer, for example, when it's hot outside?
Summer is the best time to do enrichment, I think, just because our options are kind of larger. So on really warm days, we give them popsicles. So what we will do is we'll freeze fruit and veggies in water, just plain water, and then we'll hang them up. We usually will put them on strings so we can kind of hang them so they can lick them throughout the day. That's a big hit with pretty much everybody. Everybody loves the popsicles. We'll also give them sprinklers, pools. Our alpacas, they love getting their legs hosed down, so sometimes I'll just send one of my keepers in there with a hose and they'll just hose their legs down. That helps cool them down. So pools are a big hit as well, and sprinklers, of course. So
that's fun.
So basically this time of year, anything that keeps them cool is good. But we try to vary what we give, just so we obviously want to keep it new for the animals. So if you provide the same item, so if we were to provide these paper mache every day, they're going to get tired of it. It doesn't become fun anymore.
Yeah.
So we try to vary what they get every day. And then there's different categories of enrichment too. So different things we're trying to enrich for, or it's going to take different forms. Wish Ferdinand would step on it. If he would just step on it, he'd be good.
So when you visit the Creation Museum, you can come visit the animals as part of your general admission to the museum, and then the workshop is $350 for participants.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would add in closing?
Just come check us out. We have animal encounters, keeper talks going on throughout the day. At 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock every day, you get an opportunity to feed one of our camels and also learn more about them as well. So just keep an eye out for animals around the gardens and for educational opportunities out here in the zoo.
And you have a sign posted right at the front of the entrance,
Yes.
so people can, when they visit, they can see what's going on throughout the day. And
Yes.
and the workshops are every Saturday throughout the summer.
Yes, most Saturdays throughout the summer, the workshop will be going on.
Awesome. So if you want more information, you can visit us online, and we hope to see you here.